Good morning. Welcome to the hearing on the subcommittee on landmarks, public sightings, and dispositions. At this time, please silence all electronics and do not approach the dais. I repeat, do not approach the dais. If you wish to testify, fill out a slip at the back of the room. If you wish to testify online, you may do so at landusetestimony@council.nyc.gov. That is landusetestimony@council.nyc.gov. Please contact the sergeant for additional information. And Chair, you may begin.
Good morning, everyone. Another exciting day. Welcome to the meeting of the Subcommittee of Landmarks, Public Sightings, and Dispositions. I am Councilmember Camila Hanks, and I am the chair of the subcommittee. Today, I'm joined by my colleagues, Marte, Nurse, Salam, Majority Leader Farias. Before we begin with today's agenda, I will remind everyone that this meeting is being held in a hybrid format. For members of the public who wish to testify remotely, we ask that you first register online, and you may do so now by visiting www.council.nyc.gov/land use to sign up, and then sign into the Zoom and remain signed in until you have testified. For anyone with us today in person and wishing to testify, if you have not already done so, please see one of the sergeants to fill out a speaker's card, and we will call your name at the appropriate time. For anyone wishing to submit written testimony on the items being heard today, we ask that you please send via email to landusetestimony@council.nyc.gov. Include the land use number and/or project name in the subject line of your email. Video and audio testimony will not be accepted. I will remind members of the public that this is a government proceeding and that decorum shall be observed at all times, and as such, members of the public shall remain silent unless called to testify. The witness table is reserved for people who wish to testify. No video recording or photography is allowed from the witness table. Further, members of the public may not present audio or video recordings as testimony, but may submit transcript of such recordings to the sergeant for inclusion in the hearing record. On today's agenda, we have land use number 148, the Landmarks Preservation Commission's proposed designation of 1 Wall Street banking room interior in Councilmember Marte's district in Manhattan as a historic landmark, as well as several votes. We will now vote to approve land use item 143, Malcolm Shabazz Harlem Plaza. This project is in Councilmember Salam's district in Manhattan and seeks to facilitate the construction of one new mixed-use building, including 2 9-story towers containing affordable housing units through HPD's Extremely Low and Low-Income Affordability Program, ELA, and the new community facility space for existing African vendors market. The proposed action involves the designation of an urban development action area, approval of an urban development action area project, and disposition of city-owned lots. We will also vote on land use number 144, the designation of Willoughby Hart Historic District in Councilmember Osei's district in Brooklyn. I would like to call on Councilmember Salam for comments before the vote. Councilmember?
Thank you, Chair. It is with great pride and anticipation that I sit here on the hearing for the Malcolm Shabazz hearing of Harlem Plaza. The proposed development represents more than just a new physical space in the heart of Harlem. It is a testament to our community's resilience, culture, and unwavering commitment to economic empowerment and social justice. The legacy of Malcolm X, a national and international treasure, continues to inspire generations and will be honored in every corner of this plaza. This project will serve as a vital hub for local businesses, entrepreneurs, and artists, ensuring that Harlem remains a beacon of Black excellence and innovation. By providing much-needed affordable housing, commercial opportunities, and spaces for community gatherings, we are fostering a future that reflects the brilliance and diversity of Harlem's past, while building a new pathways for success. As someone who has lived through the transformative power of community support, I know that this development will stand as a reminder of what we can achieve together when we honor our history and invest in our future. The Malcolm Shabazz Harlem Plaza will not only offer economic opportunities, but also serve as a cultural landmark that uplifts our people, keeps the spirit of Harlem thriving for generations to come. Thank you to everyone involved in making this vision a reality, and let us continue to work together to ensure Harlem's future as a rich, vibrant history. Thank you.
Thank you, Council Member. Members of the subcommittee, do you have any questions or remarks about today's items? Please let me know. Hearing none, I will now call for a vote to approve LUs 144 and 143. Council, please call the roll.
Sorry, Councilmember Hanks,
I vote aye.
Councilmember Farias,
I vote aye.
Councilmember Marte,
Aye.
Councilmember Nurse,
I vote aye.
Councilmember Salam.
I vote aye.
With a vote of 5 in the affirmative, 0 in the negative, and 0 abstentions, the items are adopted and referred to the full Land Use Committee.
Thank you, Council. I will now open a public hearing for Land Use Item 148, the proposed designation by Landmarks Preservation Commission of 1 Wall Street Banking Room Interior in Councilmember Marte's district in Manhattan as a historic landmark. Appearing today on this proposal is Stephen Thompson, Landmarks Preservation Commission, and Margaret Herman, Landmarks Preservation Commission. Those wishing to testify remotely must register online visiting the council's website at council.nyc.gov/land use. Council, will you please administer the affirmation?
Panelists, would you please raise your right hand and state your name for the record?
Margaret Herman.
Stephen Thompson.
Do you affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in your testimony before this subcommittee and in answer to all council member questions?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Can they begin? Got it. Please hold.
Should I go ahead? Sure. Okay. All right. Good morning, Chair Hanks and subcommittee members. My name is Margaret Herman, Deputy Director of Research at the Landmarks Preservation Commission. Thank you for the opportunity to present our recent designation of the 1 Wall Street Banking Room interior. Next slide. Completed in 1931, the banking room of 1 Wall Street was conceived by architect Ralph Walker and muralist Hildreth Mier as the impressive reception room and banking hall of the Irving Trust Company. This extraordinary, elaborately tiled space, known as the Red Room, was the first of several interior collaborations between Mier and Walker. LPC's designated interior landmarks are special places that must be customarily open or accessible to the public, and the Commission has only designated 123 interior landmarks throughout its history. At the public hearing on May 14, 2024, the building's owner and Community Board 1 spoke in favor of the designation, as did representatives of the International Hildreth Mier Association, the Art Deco Society, the New York Landmarks Conservancy, and the Historic Districts Council. No one spoke in opposition to the designation. Next slide. 1 Wall Street, a designated individual landmark, is located at the intersection of Broadway and Wall Street in the heart of Manhattan's financial district. Next slide. The banking room occupies the north end of the first floor of the building. The landmark site is illustrated here, outlined in red. Next slide. The One Wall Street building, originally Irving Trust Company building, now known as the Bank of New York building, was designated an individual landmark in 2001 and sensitively converted to residential and retail use in 2022. The stunning former banking hall interior is the building's original reception space and remains incredibly intact. Next slide. Ralph Walker, the architect of One Wall Street, was a principal of Voorhees, Gmelin, and Walker. Walker was one of New York's most noteworthy designers of Art Deco high-rise buildings. Hildreth Mier was a highly talented and accomplished muralist proficient in a variety of mediums. Mier's impressive body of work includes painted and mosaic murals in churches and synagogues throughout the country, as well as the rondelles on the facade of Radio City Music Hall. After One Wall Street, Walker and Mier next collaborated on the AT&T long-distance building lobby and later on several buildings for other corporations. Next slide. Construction of One Wall Street began in 1929 and was completed in 1931. The decorative concept was developed by Walker, who engaged Mier to work on the banking hall mural. Abstract designs were a departure from Mier's typically representative murals and mosaics. She collaborated with Perry Coke Smith to develop the color gradations and scale of the design. The aim of the designers was to create a room that was warm and inviting, contrasting with the cold marble of earlier banking halls. While there is a repeating motif throughout the room, its irregular shape means that each surface appears distinctive and unique. Each elevation was designated with an alphanumeric code that was stamped on individual tiles to indicate their installation location. Next slide. The Irving Trust and Bank Company and its successor firms occupied the building and continued to use the banking room until 2014. As you can see in these photographs, the room has had several different configurations over time. Next slide. The banking room's undulating walls and ceiling gleam with mosaic tile in warm colors that begin in red near the floor and fade upward to orange across the ceiling. These colored tiles are intertwined with gold patterns that create a striking verticality. The walls mimic the curved stone facades of the Art Deco skyscraper's exterior. Next slide. The current owners undertook a full restoration of the former banking hall. The space is now being converted to retail use by the French company Printemps and is expected to open to the public in 2025. Next slide. Representing the work of masters of their fields, the banking room of One Wall Street is a striking and rare example of an abstract mosaic interior by Mier and an elaborate stylistic departure from the typical stone-clad banking hall. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And now I would like to recognize any of my colleagues who have any questions or remarks. Councilmember Marte?
Yes, I'm fully supportive of this application. It's a beautiful building, and I want to thank the developer for always, recognizing his building and the landmark potential for it. And they had an amazing event last year where they put a plaque to recognize the history of the building as well.
Thank you so much. It is extraordinary. Thank you. This applicant panel is now excused. Council, are there any members of the public who wish to testify on this item?
No, there are not.
Okay, thank you. There being no other members of the public who wish to testify regarding land use 148 for landmarking of One Wall Street banking room, this public hearing is now closed. With that concludes today's business. I would like to thank the members of the public, my colleagues, subcommittee, council, land use staff, and Sergeant at Arms for your participation today. This meeting is now adjourned.